Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into quite a critical review of that new film, War of the Worlds 2025. We've got just one source, but it's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Our mission here is to unpack why this huge, visually impressive movie apparently just didn't land. Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah, it's interesting. The review jumps right into something we see a lot in big movies these days, doesn't it? This focus on spectacle, maybe over substance.
Exactly.
It almost makes you think, studios might feel pressure to go for the big visuals because maybe that feels, safer than really complex storytelling.
Yeah.
We'll explore why a film based on such a classic story could end up feeling, the review says, empty.
Right, empty. It doesn't hold back at all. It calls War of the Worlds 2025 a CGI spectacle with no soul. That's pretty blunt.
Oh, yeah.
And it points specifically to the director, Elias Vance. He's known more for commercials, and the review suggests his style is all flash and no fire.
Mm-hmm. Slick, but maybe hollow.
That's the idea. It describes watching it as, and I'm quoting here, akin to watching a fireworks display from a mile away. A lot of noise and bright lights, but entirely devoid of emotional resonance or genuine terror.
Wow. That raises a really interesting point, though. Can a film actually be too spectacular, too visually busy?
Seems like that's exactly what the review is arguing.
Yeah, it says the relentless onslaught of the alien machines, it just becomes numbing after a while. The camera's always on the cityscapes being incinerated or the tripod stomping through rubble.
Right, the big stuff.
But not on, how actual people are reacting, the genuine human reaction.
So the fear factor is missing.
Apparently. It says the original's awe-inspiring terror gets replaced by this almost video game-like sense of scale. It's all about destruction over dread. There's no slow burn, no build-up. It just starts at this fever pitch and kind of stays there.
Which sounds exhausting, honestly. But isn't massive destruction kind of the point of War of the Worlds? I mean, you expect cities to fall.
Oh, sure. You expect destruction. But the review's point seems to be that if you don't care about who is in the city or what is being lost beyond just buildings,
it just becomes noise.
Exactly. It's just visual noise without an emotional anchor. Like you said, exhausting and maybe even boring after a while.
Okay, so the spectacle overwhelms the human element.
Yeah.
That leads right into what the review calls the most glaring flaw.
The character.
Yeah, the characters.
Yeah.
It sounds like this is where the film really falls apart for the reviewer. What did it say about the main guy, Jake Carter? The grizzled everyman turned hero.
He's described as basically a collection of tired archetypes. You know the type.
The checklist.
Right. Strained relationship with his daughter. Check. Vague military past. Check.
And nothing behind it.
The review stresses none of it feels earned through anything resembling character development. It's just there.
And the others. The supporting cast.
They fare even worse, it sounds like. Just mere plot devices. People to be saved or sacrificed with predictable regularity. So the review concludes, the audience ends up caring about as much as the Martian heat rays seem to.
That's harsh. And it ties us back to the script itself, right? It wasn't just the actors or the direction?
No, it points to the script as a fundamental problem, calls it a collection of genre cliches held together by expository dialogue.
So lots of telling instead of showing.
Seems like it. And the dialogue itself, littered with groan-worthy one-liners and emotional pleas that fall completely flat.
Not exactly memorable lines you'll be quoting later.
Definitely not. The review argues, we're constantly told the stakes are incredibly high, but because the characters are thin and the dialogue clunky, you just don't feel it.
Which explains why even amazing visuals couldn't save it, in the reviewer's eyes.
Precisely. The foundation wasn't there.
So wrapping it all up, what's the final verdict from this review? How does it summarize War of the Worlds 2025?
It lands on this image, the cinematic equivalent of a loud, empty room. Yeah. All that sound and fury, but ultimately, it signifies nothing.
A pretty damning conclusion.
It really is. It hammers home the idea that even if you have the brand recognition of a classic story, the best special effects, a decent cast, if you forget the most crucial ingredient, a human heart, well, it doesn't matter.
So that leaves a big question for you, listening out there.
In this age of, absolutely massive visual blockbusters, what do you think actually gives a film soul?
Yeah, and how can filmmakers make sure that spark, that human connection, isn't completely lost amongst all the spectacle and the explosions? Something to think about.